You're an inspiration to our entire organization.
Welcome to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast. We're going to be talking the done-for-you marketing and sales strategies proven to work with boutique fitness gyms to increase quality lead flow and grow your revenue. Don't try to be a professional marketer and waste tons of money. Let the experts at Lasso do it for you. And now, here are your hosts, Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks.
Made Simple podcast. So this is something brand new. I'm super excited about this, and we'll be bringing more of the team on. All of us at Lasso are going to do a quick 5 to 10 minute podcast on every Wednesday, covering all the topics through gym ownership and how to fix them. So this is something that you can listen into your car, mowing the lawn, taking a walk, whatever it is, just quick 5 to 10 minutes that are like gold nuggets to change things in your business, to help you grow your revenue, and just honest truth from gym owners that have done it over and seen it happen, and how to fix things so that you guys can get real results and grow your business. And just simply listening to this every Wednesday, and then hopefully on Mondays you can go listen to our longer podcast, hear from our clients, longer detailed on different topics and different things like that. So today, as you guys know, if you've been listening to us for a while, we're really big on story brand, really big on words and copy and relating to your client, being very clear on what you do and how to identify the client and make sure that you're reaching that client. And when they read your stuff, they're like, I always used to say this, and like when I had both my gyms, is one of the biggest compliments, but one of the biggest compliments that I would get when people would sit down with me. They would always say, your website speaks. Like, I thought you were talking to me. That is when you know that if it's let me put it this way. If the person sitting in front of you is not your ideal client and they say that, then you have a massive disconnect. But if the person sitting in front of you is your ideal client and they're saying your website literally sounded like you were speaking exactly to me and my problem, you've hit a home run. So that is the goal. And if you're not doing that and you're not hearing that and you're not getting people sitting down in front of you that are your ideal client, your website's probably missing the mark. So today I'm going to go over quick things that you can make edits really, really quick. So say you're getting traffic, you're checking your SEO, your Google Analytics, you're getting a lot of people, but you're not getting leads in the door. Two things. The number one to keep in mind, 80% of people will not go above the fold or not read past above the fold. What's the fold? That is the first image, headline, sub-headline, and call to action. That top little thing. So people have the attention span less than a goldfish. So literally you got 5 to 10 seconds to get these people captivated. What does that mean? That your headline has to speak to simply what results you're going to get them. If your headline's talking about community, talking about you, talking about anything else, you're not solving their problem and they're going to click off, right? The other thing, you need to have a very, very clear call to action. It needs to be in front of them. It needs to tell them what to do. It can't say learn more. I would say in fitness industry, buy now is not a good one. That's good for products, but it's got to be something like book this, book your call, book your consult, whatever it would be. I would say if you're running paid traffic, anything putting free on there is going to get people that are not great buyers on that. So focus on the headline, making sure that messaging is super clear on what you do and what the result's going to be. You are the bridge between basically the client and their result, their outcome that they want. You're the bridge in between. And so you're identifying this is what you want to become, and that's what needs to be stated on there. This sounds really odd, but if you're not getting leads for a while, I see a lot of people, make sure you're testing your links, make sure that it's working. Right? It sounds super clear, so it's super easy, but that's one thing a lot of people miss out, is just not making sure their website links are working. The other thing that you want to do is, I see it a lot of times on websites, is the button goes to a scheduler. all of your buttons should go to a opt-in form. Reason being, let's say they go to your scheduler, they're busy, they're in the car, or they got kids or whatever around them, and they're like, I'll just schedule later, right? They never put in their information, so you can never contact them. You want to have an opt-in form, or let's say they look at your scheduler and there's no times available and they have no way of contacting you. You just lost a really great lead because you went to the scheduler before the opt-in form. So making sure you're getting name, phone number, and email immediately on that form, and then going to the scheduler. So the other thing is imagery. You have to have imagery that is your clientele or your ideal clientele in the images. Don't use stock photos of all these things. And like, if you have a gym full of, 45 to, like I was talking to a gym yesterday, and they have 35 to basically 65. They're in Florida, retired community. If they have a bunch of 20 years old, like pictured with like working out and doing very hard workouts, they're missing the mark, and people aren't going to opt in because it doesn't relate to them. They can't see people that look like them. So you have to make sure that everything is dialed. Have your ideal clients read through your website and look through it and say, yeah, that relates to me. That's the like, everything's on par. I would definitely come to this place. So also there should be a button after every section. What you don't want to have people do is like scrolling through and they're doing the research, like, oh my God, this is really great, and then have to scroll all the way to the top and click the button. You want to have it throughout and have the same call to action, the same words, book your X, right? That is the same thing throughout. Don't change it to learn more or book something else. And then they're confused on what the next step is. It needs to be very, very clear on what the step is to do, and then to get them dialed in. The other thing that I would always say is talk about not only the results, but what happens if they don't take action. Talk about like, hey, you've been struggling to get fitness results. If you don't take this step today, you're still going to be looking in the mirror and not loving the way you look, not being able to keep up with your kids if that's your target market, struggling to figure out what workout that you love and can go to every day. Have a structured plan and accountability of people holding you accountable and make sure you're showing up and getting results. So those are, and one thing I would have, and this is the very last thing. So if you're not at capacity, and this is kind of like a friction subject, people are like, oh, I want to put pricing on there because I want to be transparent. People don't know what question to ask when they look on a website. So when people opt in, a lot of times they're just like, yeah, what's the price, right? Because that's the only thing they really know. They base it like everything's the same. Without having the chance to engage and have an opportunity to give value and show this is how we're different, if they just go to your website, see the price, and somebody else's website, see the price, all they're going to compare is prices. They actually don't know the value behind that, or what the value is in your price and why you might be $10 to $30 to $40 more. So getting their information gives you a chance to even at least have a conversation. And then let's say they do even go with the cheaper one. They're like, okay, Blake, cool. But they still want cheaper. You still are in their ecosystem of getting your lead nurture and things like that later on, if it didn't work out at the other place, they can come to you and be like, yeah, I can see why that was cheap. Now I'm ready for the expensive thing. So those are some website fixes to do really quick, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. We'll be doing this every Wednesday for you guys. I'm super excited to bring this to you. So just stay tuned on Wednesdays. Save this. If it was helpful, share it to a friend, another gym owner, and we'll chat with you soon.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast with Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks. We hope you enjoy. We believe marketing should increase revenue and not waste money. So book your free call today. Head on over to lassoframework.com. That's lassoframework.com and find the right words, get more customers, and increase your revenue. We'll see you here next time.